Baby's first birth, when should it happen? My name is Heather Shelley. I'm a licensed midwife and a family nurse practitioner. Let me explain baths to you. So in the hospital, they give baby a bath after birth. Why do they do this? Well, baby is considered an OSHA hazard because they have mom's bodily fluids on them, from the amniotic fluid through going through the birth canal. And so they are considered contaminated. And so they give baby a bath so that the nurses do not have to wear gloves when handling baby. Where really what happens here is they're washing that vernix off. And vernix is that white, creamy, like lotion that's on baby that keeps their skin from being wrinkled, like when you're in a bathtub and you get the wrinkled skin. This stops that wrinkling from happening and it protects baby. Well, it also has antimicrobial properties. And so when we wash it off, I can almost always tell a baby that was born in the hospital and bathed, because that baby will have dried wrists and dried ankles that are flaking. That moisture protection is just gone. Before bathing came in and we were worried about certain diseases, we're going back a lot of decades here, nursery nurses were said to have the softest hands in the hospital because that vernix really is a thick moisturizer. And when we bathe baby, we bathe off that scent, we bathe off that layer of protection, the moisture, as I said, the antimicrobial, all of that is now gone. And so we have a hard time keeping babies from peeling and cracking, the skin from peeling and cracking. And so at the birth center and at home births, I almost never bathe the baby unless baby had maybe a lot of blood clots in their hair or they had meconium. And typically then I only bathe or wash the baby's hair as gently as I can to get that blood or potentially any meconium off. We even put a diaper on baby rather quickly so that baby doesn't poop and get meconium all over their legs, and that would make it so that we would need to bathe baby so that we can avoid this if at all possible. It is very protective to keep baby as clean as possible or as natural as possible, and parents typically don't mind baby's natural skin or the natural flora because it came from them. The choice to bathe is up to you. They'll put a little, if you're giving birth in the hospital, they'll put up a little sign in the bassinet that says, hey, I haven't been bathed, please use gloves. And that's totally fine. When should you give the first bath then? That is kind of up to you. I would say many of the parents that give birth with us wait 2 to 3 days to give baby the first bath. Some will say, well, you need to wait till the cord's off. Of course, it can't get wet. What do you think the cord was doing inside of you? It was floating in amniotic fluid. It was totally wet. Just keep the cord dry. You bathe baby and then you air dry the cord. Take a dry Q-tip, clean it that way, let it air dry. Don't cover it up with a diaper, roll the diaper down. But full-on baths are great. I worked at a hospital in Washington State where if baby got a bath after birth, they had sinks in the room that were specially made as tubs. So it was a hand washing sink, but it doubled as the birth sink or the first bath sink. And they did this because the head nurse said sponge baths were, in her mind, cruel and unusual punishment. Babies do not like them. It makes them cold. And so they did full-on immersion baths, like a Dr. Le Boyer from France, and how I believe he was from France. And the baths that he didn't use soap or anything, but after a baby was born and everything was fine, he would give them a water bath where it kind of returned them to that environment. Full-on baths are totally fine. Just make sure the umbilical cord is able to air dry. And when you give that first bath is kind of up to you. And I don't have a